Well, I think I'll start with a kind of an interesting little story tonight. Two or three of you have mentioned seeing my picture in Cribbage World, and you didn't know that I owned a suit or a tie. You've never seen me in a suit or a tie.
That's true.
Well, you know, the last 3 years I traveled for cribbage. I had a choice of taking a doctor or taking a suit, and I thought there was a better chance for a burial than recovery. So I always had a suit in the car. So if you saw me at Reno on Saturday morning, I dressed up with a suit.
Just in case.
So, and I had the same questions. It took me a while to think of that story that I just told. But after about the 15th time, I thought, well, gee, yeah, this is it. Yeah, and another thing that happened to me, I was seeing a cardiologist every 90 days. I don't see him now for 2 years. Every 90 days. And I really believed that was my life expectancy. They wanted to collect once more on my life insurance, or health insurance, before I collected on my life insurance. So I kept on that 90-day sequence and 90-day sequence, and he'd keep giving me advice, and I don't hear too well. And one day I was walking downtown. Chehalis is not a very big town. And here's my cardiologist walking by on the same side of the street. And I got a pretty young lady on my elbow, and I'm just walking like I'm on cloud 9. And he said, looks like things are going pretty good for you, huh? I said, yeah, last time I saw you, you said, be cheerful and get a hot mama. He said, Dad, I didn't say that. I said, be careful, you got a heart murmur. So anyway, that's how it's going.
The way it worked, huh?
Yeah. But thanks to modern medicine and a forgiving Lord, I'm able to do this. Thanks.
We're glad you are.
Yeah. Okay. You know, we spent last week talking about discarding to your own crib. And there's a couple pretty important concepts in there, and I want to be sure you got them before we move on. And in fact, what I discovered is why we talk about discarding to your own crib before discarding to your opponent's crib. I have noticed even people that have played this game a long time, many times don't help their own crib, although they're pretty good at throwing garbage to their opponent. So we want to be sure that you got the hands in mind and the discards in mind that you can make when you deal, because you need to be looking for them. Remember, keep your eyes open for these. You don't have to be thinking about all 91, but you'll be surprised if you're looking for these, how often they'll show up. And stay within the sacrifice limits. Remember, sacrifice limits are simply how many points can I sacrifice from this hand to put a set of these cards in my crib. If you're giving up points to put other sets of cards in your crib, it don't work. These are the only ones that are worth the sacrifice. And I'll demonstrate a few hands here for you, and so I want to be sure that you understand how this works. Now remember, we had the big hand rule. There were two parts to the big hand rule. What were the two parts?
No more than 4 points.
So you got to stay within these sacrifice limits. And then what was the second part of it?
Still have to have a chance for 12 points or more.
Exactly. So I'm looking at a big hand, and this is similar to one that we showed. This one here has 2 kings, a queen, a jack, and 2 5s. And of course, these rules only apply on our deal. They have nothing to do with discarding to the opponent's crib, only to ourselves. So if I put the pair of 5s in my crib, if I give up more than 4 in this hand, king, queen, jack, jack,
No.
no, so I'm within the sacrifice limits. Then the second part is, do I still have a hand potential of 12 or more?
Yeah.
King, king, queen, jack. Sure I do.
Or 5.
So it works out on both counts, so the 5s are gone. Now it could be if you had 2 5s and a 4 6 with a queen jack, it wouldn't work, would it? Because you'd be giving up a whole lot more than 4. That's the key. Give up no more than 4. And then if it's a big hand to begin with, ask that other question. Do I still have potential of 12 or more? Yep. Yep. No more than 4. Yep. Good. Good choice.